Hey guys, welcome back to another episode Around the Fire. We got that piece in from STORMWERKZ, the little bit of a scope mount for our M92 PAP here. As you can see, it's a CNC machined aluminum. These little holes there are drilled for mounting it in, and they are tapped for you already. It's got a nice little recess in the back there, you can see, for fitting right over the top of the welded on sight rail there. That little bit, you can see it just locks right into place there. And you're just supposed to, the instructions give you a little drilling schematic, and basically what you're supposed to do is set this guy on here like so. Make sure it's not up in the front or up in the back, and it's just on there in the center nice. And they recommend laying down like some crayon or something here, and then going and taking a small drill bit, or what you got. I used an Allen wrench, but basically what I did was just I just scratched it with an Allen wrench. You can see these little dots I got there, and I just went right through the hole and scratched it, made my marks, and then I'm gonna take my center punch here, and very carefully, and making sure that I'm going straight down the middle while doing this, I'm going to center punch my holes. And then what I'm gonna end up doing, I watched a few guys try and do this with the drill press, because these PAPs, this top dust cover is hinged and it's kind of a bear to get off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it a little differently here. I'm gonna do it with the hand drill over here. I'm going to take the dust cover up and off. I'm going to remove our internals, set those aside. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get myself a piece of paper towel, and I'm going to set it in here. Maybe plug up the hole with a little piece, or the barrel there, the chamber. And then I'm going to put this back down and clamp it into place. And then I'm just going to put this into my vise, so I can just drill it just like that on the gun. Much easier than trying to finagle this thing into some odd position, like that, while it's still attached to the gun, and do that in a drill press. So that's what we're going to do here. We'll get set up on that, and we'll be back here in a second. Okay, and so what I did there is I got her nice and snugged up, not tight enough to do any damage or warp your receiver or anything like that, but just, good enough in there with a little towel so she's not going to get scratched up. I took off the buttstock and the handle just to give me a little more wiggle room here. And now, like I said, I'm just going to check and tap my holes and make sure my marks and everything are good. So as you can see, we've got our little marks here, just indicating to us where we want to be. So we're going to go now, and we're going to punch that with our, this is a very important part, I can't stress this enough, make sure you get one of these. Don't just go in there and try and start drilling all willy-nilly, because if your holes end up out of center alignment, basically what we're doing here, we're drilling pass-through holes with this style thing. The screw is going to come up through the bottom and thread into the rail itself. So if your screws are out of alignment side to side in some fashion or another, you're just going to have to get in there with your Dremel and widen out those holes either way. And I mean, I'm assuming you'd rather not go grinding away on your gun if you didn't have to. So now we're going to get the camera reset up here, and I'm going to get out the drill, move you a little closer here so you can see the action. And we're just going to drill those holes. Okay guys, try as I might here, I cannot seem to get through this fourth hole, which appears to be, as I can tell, damn near directly on a spot weld. And I'm gonna have to do that with the drill press or something at a later date. It's very disappointing. I'll honestly say at this point in the project, these holes have been a real pain in the tuchus. Without a drill jig, which obviously you can't use this for because this is your threaded holes in there, so you can't run a bit through there. But without a drill jig, this project is quite difficult. I mean, you could have, like, I could have went and got my little bench drill press out, rigged it up, but you know, sometimes even those, you know, the bit will hit and wander a little bit. I think just for the sake of precision here, this company should include a drill jig, and they don't. There are other ones out there that I've seen that do include a drill jig at this point in the project without having completed it or seen how this is going to perform, just out of sheer difficulty, safety for your firearm and whatnot. I'm gonna say you might want to go with one of those. They're probably a better, safer bet. But I think I'm gonna go pull out the bench guy and try and get him rigged up here and see if we can't just get this sucker finished off. So I did finally manage to get that fourth hole. I just went with a smaller bit, got down in there, punched it through. Now I'm gonna step it up to our appropriate hole size, slowly but surely. I'll tell you what, man, those spot welds on there are no joke. So I'm gonna get this done, and then we'll be back. Okay, so we got all of our holes drilled. Our back one we had to make bigger to counter being off a little bit, so I just upsized it a bit, which will allow for a little bit of correction there. Then all you got to do is take the provided set screws that come with it, and they're going to go in through the back side, the underside, and they're going to come out, get little holes there like so, and you're going to thread those into your rail. So we're going to try and fit that all up now. Here we go. So our two center ones are good. Our front one's still off a little bit, and I can just tell by looking at it here, our back one's going to be off a little bit. So I'm probably going to have to get out a small hand file or a Dremel and try to elongate those two holes a bit. That's unfortunate. Alright guys, so as you can see, finally we got that sucker on there. No gaps, sitting on there nice. It was a son of a bitch. Let me tell you, okay? There's still some schmutz in there. But it basically, without any drill vise type device that comes with this, which some of the products do, like I spoke about earlier, you're at the mercy of weeble wobble in your drill. Now that can be taken care of a couple different ways. You know, you probably if you could take this dust cover off, which I just couldn't figure out, this this pin here, it didn't want to hammer out, so you know, that wasn't an option because I didn't want to break something. So you probably could have rigged it up in a drill press, like I said earlier in the video. I saw some other guys do that. I've seen other guys do it by hand too, like I just did. Everybody, no matter what, seems to run into the same problem. It's just that little bit of drifting without a drill jig to kind of keep you in line. You could possibly make yourself a drill jig, maybe. I mean, if you have the skills to do that and the machining, you know, tools available, that would probably be awesome. I really just think this company, STORMWERKZ, for $50, just for this little piece of rail, should be sending one out with it. You know, it would only be a couple more bucks for them for another piece of aluminum bar with, you know, the required holes in it that, you know, fit over the rail and everything. Oh, I'm tired. This was a pain. It sits really, really solid. It's not going to go anywhere, I can already tell. I mean, if there's going to be any play, it's just going to be the whole dust cover, you know, not this guy. So I'm going to give it a rating like this. I'm going to say it's a super cool product if you have the time, the patience, the skills, the tools, and are comfortable drilling holes and, you know, going at your gun like that. This is a cool product. $50. I think you could look out there and probably find one similar from some other company that comes with the drill jig, and I think you'd be better off and a little bit safer because you know your holes are going in the right spots. Despite our marking, despite our tapping the holes to start them, we ended up drifting really, really bad on it. The first one was a little bit just, I think it might have been me. I might have got a little overzealous and not been just on our little tap where we should have been. The last one, we hit a spot weld in there, and the whole hole just drifted around it. It did not want to go through that spot weld, so it sort of drifted to the right and ended up being ridiculous. I ended up having to go at it with a bigger drill bit, and then I had to take a small hand file and go through there, and it was a beast. I mean, it took me probably 30 minutes of just filing. It was so hard just to file the slot over a little bit to get the screw in. But now that it's all on, the screw heads, yeah, they sent you some extra ones, so here's some extra ones in the bag that you can see. The screw heads are actually fairly large on these. They're flat enough that they're not going to come in contact with the carrier, from what I can see. I have seen some people complain online that that is an issue that they have had. I don't know why. Maybe there's different carriers or something, or, you know, some parts were changed or something, but from what I can see, I'm not going to have any issues, hopefully. And you get 4 extra ones just in case you lose them or you screw them up. And they do have a wide enough head on them that if you do have to go up or make some adjustments, that it's still going to tighten down real nice, and you can get your Loctite in there and everything. Let that set up. But we've got the Midwest Industries quad rail 4N coming, so that'll be the next little upgrade for this guy. And then we're going to get it and the AR-15 pistol chambered in 7.62 by 39. We're going to get, like we were talking about, the same optic on both of them here, and we're going to get them out there and see how they do. See if this is a good rail that holds a 0. I mean, it's a dust cover one, so you never know. And then we'll also compare it with, you know, the Midwest Industries rail. We'll use that. We'll use, you know, some multiple comparisons. But we'll get out and we'll shoot them and we'll have some fun. So stay tuned. Come back again. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me sweat in this one. You know, like I said, cool product, but I think I would shop around for a little bit better one. I'm not gonna lie to you. $50 is a good chunk of change. Now, I mean, I would even pay 60, 70 if it came with the drill jig or something. Just this was a little too much pain in the butt, and I mean, really, I could see potentially somebody really maybe that is not so adaptive to a situation like that occurring, freaking out and being like, oh my god, I just ruined my gun, and not knowing what to do, having to order a new dust cover, making a mess of things or something. Just, you know, it could have been a disaster, but we worked it out. So I'm gonna say pass on this product. You know what I mean? Unless you're really feeling bold and daring. That's going to be my assessment of this one here for today. So thank you guys. Thanks again for coming. Take care of each other. You know, have a good one. All right.